I think 25% is just about.
Not 25 cents, because they're saying break even is 240 and 290. And I said if we went to 2 1/4 and 275.
I don't know. I'm just looking at it at a gross level, right? $15,000 over 115 is less than 15%, right? It's around 12% increase would be of $2, right? Would be just about 2 1/4.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty darn close.
So Karen, you'd like to propose?
Yeah.
500 to 275. Does anybody here feel, there should be an amount different than that? Then, what we are going to then say as far as the consent agenda is, we are gonna revise the cost to go from $2 to $2.25 for the regular AB lunch, and $2.75 for the NutriTrack. Is that the way I understand it? Okay, thank you. Is there anything else on the consent agenda?
So I'm sorry, one more. So was it 2 1/4 for the regular? Was it 275 for the NutriTrack?
Correct. 25 cents each. Even though it's not a true 12%.
It's about.
Okay. Okay, anything else on the consent agenda? Then may I have a motion, please, that the Board of Education approve the consent agenda as revised? It is, okay, Mark did and Karen did the second. It has been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve the consent agenda as revised. Roll call. Mrs. Essig?
Yes.
Mrs. Houk?
Yes.
Mr. Mirabile?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Halloran?
Yes.
Mr. Rigley?
Yes.
Mrs. Tegtmeier?
Yes.
Mrs. Sedlack? Yes, ayes have it, motion carries. Reports and discussion items?
Yes, first item, the board is going to learn a lot, but we have a good audience today. First, before I start this, I requested that the Curriculum Council members attend this meeting this evening, and we have,
We don't want to look at the
if you're on
time.
the Curriculum Council, the board knows who you are. Would you please stand? All of our Curriculum Council members, please stand. This report's going to be a little. You got it here. It's on the desktop if you want.
It's CC.
Okay. With the Curriculum Council status report, we're going to do a little bit differently than we have in the past. We're going to provide, we've actually earmarked about 60 minutes for this presentation, and there's a good reason for that. We're looking at some more detailed information for the board. And looking ahead to the June meeting, I'm going to be requesting that the board formally adopt the curriculum, which is a requirement for school code. And we have all our curriculum documents are in a cart. Erica, where?
Oh, yes. Can you
Yes. Yeah, this is perfect. So they have to exist. All right. What I want to do is just start with a little background information about curriculum development. All right. You only knew how many hours went into that. Background information. This is our curriculum decision-making process for staff development, everything we do with curriculum. And this was the result of our strategic plan, our original strategic plan. You can see, of course, the board has plenary decision-making for curriculum. Everything is subject to board approval. And kind of the nerve center where the actual work gets done, of course, is with our curriculum council. You can see that our curriculum council is composed of members from all of our content area committees, and in addition we have a board member and 2 other parents on that committee, and all of the not all of the administration, Matt, Meg, myself, and John McAtee with technology. So it's about a 17 member council. We meet about 9 times a year. We met today, for example. Our meetings go all day, so we deal with a lot of issues. And then just to show you how the rest of it works is that these are our grade level teams, and depending on the year, and we use grade 3 as an example, that we have 1 member from each grade team. We have typically 4, maybe 5 with the resource, will serve on various committees depending on where they're needed, and that will change from year to year, okay? And just kind of moving on, this was established as a result of our strategic plan, as I mentioned. And what does the council do? The council assures that all content areas meet standards of excellence, and those standards of excellence are articulated in our strategic plan. I'll talk a little bit more about those in a second. Assure that each classroom has the necessary materials and equipment for each content area. And then finally, that each staff member is properly trained to teach the curriculum. So basically, everything we do falls within those categories. Now, in the past, and we're going to depart from the past, but I want to bring up, kind of what we've done. We presented to the board kind of a history using this scale here, where these are the various parts of the standards of excellence, from philosophy, mastery, curriculum maps, lesson plans, assessments, technology, alignment of standards, and material lists. Those are further articulated in the strategic plan itself, but just as a kind of synopsis of what those are, they go along the top. And of course, these are all of our disciplines, and what this does is provide from May of 2006 to May of 2009, so they're color-coded. I just want to say on behalf of the Curriculum Council is that we really would like to stop explaining the curriculum development process using this system, because it just doesn't explain it in depth enough and doesn't give the board enough information. That's why we're going to transition very quickly to a much more detailed presentation. I think you'll see what I mean then. For example, what's been kind of frustrating for the board in the past is that we'll go from, for example, 2.5, a 3, then a 2 and a 3, and wondering why do we go from having it completely finished to then partially again. And the reason, and the board is probably sick of hearing this, is that it's always a work in progress. We're continuing to revise this. So what we're going to actually explain today is that in the last couple of years, but particularly the last year, we have had major renovations in our mastery statements and our assessments. And so you'll see that a lot of these have gone from 2 to 3, but particularly in the assessments, were 3s at one time, then gone from 2 to 2.5. They were 3s, and now they're back at 2.5s because we're in the development stage. All right. And why do we do that? We do that because we learn more and better things as we implement the curriculum, and also we conduct research and find out more information. I've got this evening very pleased members of the Social Studies Committee, Mary Jo Boris, Amy Duvall, and Eric Bush, are going to explain their process from first starting with the mastery statements and the assessments, and going through how all of this happens and give you specific examples. One thing they're going to be talking about, and I'll turn it over in a second, is that about 2 years ago, the Curriculum Council collectively read this book called Classroom Assessment Grading That Works. This is by Robert Marzano, is probably the most recognized kind of curriculum research expert out there. And so we started doing this a couple years ago, thinking that we needed to find out more information to report cards. But what we realized is that before we went ahead to do report cards, that we needed to back up and redo our mastery statements and our assessments. So the rest of the story will be told by Mary Jo. Are you the first one up?
I am.
Okay, so I'll move it.
Is it okay if I speak from here?
Whatever you prefer.
You want to be in front of the class?
Oh, you know what?
That's not my slide.
Yeah, and I'm going to come back to these.
I'm a Comic Sans person. That's my font up there. Okay. So this is how it all began. Curriculum Council read the Marzano book and realized the need for higher level questions in our curriculum assessments. So after realizing that, we formed book clubs, and they were offered to all the staff members during the summer and as well as the fall. And basically, to summarize Marzano's book, the book described that there were 3 levels of questions. And level 1 is a basic knowledge, level 2, a more advanced thought, and then level 3, beyond what is taught in curriculum. We felt that the level 3 type of questioning promotes original thought, which is key to our mission statement, that is to excel in life's pursuits. So after that, we took the Roach approach, which will make sense